I finally found a place to record. Yeah, it's snowing. It's actually really nice. I really like snow. There's something about snow and bringing out your inner child. Snow really does something to just really revert you back into that state. It's crazy. It's crazy. Welcome back to Park Your Thoughts, a place to park your thoughts and hopefully understand them. I need to bring more confidence into it now. I've decided to begin my 2026 in Eindhoven. There's no thought to it. I just want to go on a solo trip. Yeah, so I'm here to talk about solo traveling and how it's really impacted my life and how I actually became more self-loving because of just going out on solo trips. First of all, solo trips, full stop, amazing. You can just do whatever you want. You're on your own timeline, your own schedule. Eat what you want. You can sleep when you want. You can get up when you want. You can go outside when you want. You can just do everything on your own time. It's amazing. I would recommend solo traveling just from that factor alone. To make it more personal, I've had experiences in solo traveling that have really aligned how I view myself. My first trip, my actual first ever solo trip, I was in Rotterdam and I had this encounter with a guy. My hotel was opposite McDonald's, so I had to grab a McDonald's, as soon as I landed. And I noticed this guy noticed me, and he came over and sat in front of me. And I was like, alright, cool, whatever. But no, I don't know this guy. He just decides to sit in front of me. We get to yapping, and he goes to me, "Oh yeah, I'm here to end my life contract." Yeah, I'm not gonna say the actual word because I don't know how YouTube and the actual word go with that. Anyway, and the conversation proceeds after that, and I just basically tried to convince him not to commit. That's the best that I can. It got to a certain point where I knew no matter what I say right now, I'm never going to change his mind. I just got to say my piece and get out of here. And eventually that's what happened. But the funny thing is, at that time, I was on a solo trip because my mental health was really low. And seeing him like that really changed my mind on how I felt about myself. I knew that I wasn't able to do what he was going to do. Like, that was never even crossed my mind. But it kind of woke me up to, levels of the game at play, of how one can feel about himself. Because I felt like my situation at the time was the worst and I was just going through the worst. Then he started talking about him and I was like, I could see the brightness in his life and he had chosen that route. And I was going through my problems, but I knew that I was never going to take that route. Then when that happened, I was prompted to book more and more solo trips. And each and every one, I found characters. This one, yap their souls. Yap was the word. Earlier I was thinking, what word, what new slang has I've just taken on? What have the new generation of slang that's come up and that I just love? And yap is the one. Yap, that word is beautiful because it just describes everything you want. Yeah, yap is elite slang for feeling of words to what it means. Yap, ooh, that's a great word. Sorry, I get distracted. I found characters that just want to talk and they're emotional. I went to Morocco and I was stuck on a coach with a girl for 3 hours, and we literally just talked away, and I'll say for about 2 hours of it, we were just talking about just life and family situations, love life, education. It was a great conversation, and we're still friends. Every time she's around London, we hang out. She's always on the move, so she's doing what she's doing, innit? Shouts out to her. Yeah, traveling and all that. She was telling me about people in her life and how they were treating her, and I just was pointing out things to her. I think I kind of helped her solve some things, but I was just talking away. I was just coming off a period where I was going to therapy once a week for 6 months at that time, and I was just sharing what I had learned through therapy to her. During that conversation, it made me realize how much I had learned about, how much I had actually taken on. Because usually I knew how far I'd gone because I was talking to people that had gone through it. So they kind of had more advanced knowledge than I did on any of the subjects. But then talking to someone that's fresh, I didn't realize how much knowledge I had until I was talking to the person. And don't get me wrong, I always I wasn't trying to tell her about her life. I wasn't trying to fix her. I wasn't trying to I was just talking. And to be fair, I was comparing it more to my life as well. I think I was able to share with her more, because there was moments where I was like, oh, I can compare it to this, I can compare it to this, just to make her understand how I understand it, you know. Anyway, so fun fact about her, we met in Morocco. We both ended up being in Copenhagen at the same time, like a couple months later. And then we both ended up being in Berlin at the same time in July, after that. So it was like December, February, July, we saw each other all 3 times. So that was really weird. Fun fact, in Copenhagen, I bought a football scarf that I really liked. And now it's kind of turned into a tradition where now that I'm in Eindhoven, I've got a PSV Eindhoven football scarf, a little quirk. I'm collecting football scarves. Football is a very universal language. I know it's a sport, but you know what I'm trying to say. Like, if you talk about football, that can span different many languages. I don't know if that made sense. But anyway, I was in Paris last year for Fête de la Musique. I don't even know if I said that right. I could have completely butchered that. I met these 2 girls as I was part of a group. So we lost them at a certain point, and I was left with these 2 girls I had met on the day, and we were talking away, yapping away. And it got to a point when the next day they hit me up and was like, yo, do you want to hang out? What are you doing? And I was like, yeah, sure, I'll hang out. And so we started hanging out. And then there was one moment where I was getting restless and I was like, I want to go walk off and, you know, just go explore this bit where we're at, because I haven't been here before. Let's walk around it. And one of the girls decided to join me. At this point, it was dark. It was a new part of Paris. She decided to walk around with me, a complete stranger. And at a certain point, we were talking as well, getting to know each other. And at a certain point, I said to her, like, I pointed it out to her, I was like, it's dark. You decided to go on this walk with me. Why? Not a lot of people are so trusting like that, especially with people that they had just met. And she was like, word up, like, I just completely feel safe around you. And when she said that, I felt like a weight come off my chest. There's something about hearing it from a stranger. Like, don't get me wrong, I hear it all the time from family and friends, but it's a certain point where it becomes, you know, think about it like a drug. It's so weird to say, but think about it like a drug. You keep on taking it, at a certain point, you're gonna get used to it, and your body's gonna demand more. Sometimes that's like the word love. Appraisal sometimes from family does wear off at a certain point. Your body's gonna get used to it. So I did hear it all the time from my family, how like this, but hearing it from someone you had just met literally the day before for a couple hours, it hit different. It did hit different, I must admit. Like, I wasn't seeking it. It happened naturally. And I think that was the beautiful thing about it. That it just, even though I did ask the question, but it was literally a thought that hit me in that moment. And I asked the question. So those are the 3 solo moments. I can't tell you what I've learned from this trip so far. I'll have to sit on it for a couple of months and then think back on it. But solo trips, those 3 moments in my solo trip so far have formed that love for myself that's just gone tenfold over these trips. Yeah. And that's why I love solo traveling.